The courtroom sat in tense silence. Stevie J stood there, his hand holding a flash drive like it was a loaded weapon. "Your Honor, I have new evidence," his voice rang out, cutting through the thick air like a blade. The judge paused, eyebrows raised, while the entire room held its collective breath. Lil Scrappy's eyes darted back and forth, confused, nervous, and suspicious. Mama D clutched her pearls as if she'd seen a ghost rise from the grave. The judge gave a slow nod. Stevie walked forward, every step echoing, and plugged the flash drive into the courtroom system. The speakers clicked. A voice crackled to life. "I ain't used him. He weak. I needed out." The words slapped the courtroom like a thunderclap. It was Bambi's voice, crystal clear. The room shifted instantly from tense to explosive. Lil Scrappy shot up from his chair, face flushed, breathing heavy, his body trembling with rage and disbelief. "She lied to me for years, in my house," he growled, his voice cracking under the weight of betrayal. Chaos broke loose. The judge slammed the gavel repeatedly, shouting for order. Mama D screamed, her voice slicing through the noise. Cameras that weren't even supposed to be rolling were now capturing every second of this courtroom implosion. How did this even happen? Why would Stevie J, of all people, leak Bambi's private jailhouse conversations in the middle of a legal hearing? What was he trying to prove? And more importantly, how was Lil Scrappy just now realizing that his marriage may have been a complete lie? This wasn't a love and hip-hop scene. This was real-life unraveling. It wasn't just betrayal, it was layered with revenge, secrets wrapped inside secrets. And now, a courtroom had turned into a war zone. The leaked calls weren't just embarrassing. They were proof. Proof that Bambi's game had run deeper than anyone expected. And Stevie J? He had flipped the entire chessboard over. The audio continued. Another clip played. "I was never in love with him. I did what I had to do." The words echoed again and again. Bambi's voice, her confession, her cold calculation. What started as a divorce case had instantly transformed into something far darker, a betrayal trial. Only a few months ago, fans thought Bambi and Lil Scrappy were just going through another dramatic breakup. A few unfollows on Instagram, some shady meme posts, nothing unusual for VH1 alumni. But no one saw this coming. Not like this. Why did Stevie even have these jail calls? And why leak them publicly? The answer was becoming clearer with every word. This wasn't just beef. It was a planned takedown. And Lil Scrappy? He was the last one to realize he had been a pawn in someone else's sick game. Bambi's legal troubles hadn't appeared overnight. She had been knee-deep in legal hot water for months. Fraud allegations, shell companies, fake businesses, identity scams. On social media, she posted Bible verses and photos of her peaceful healing journey. But behind the scenes, the streets were talking and the jails were whispering. The second Bambi got locked up, she started making calls. Calls that someone had been recording. But who? That was the mystery. What was certain, though, was that Stevie J, her former flame, her friend turned foe, and a magnet for chaos, somehow ended up with a full folder of Bambi's recorded jailhouse conversations. Not one or two, but dozens. In one clip, she said it flat out. Scrappy weak. He was never supposed to make it past season 3. The words were a knife to Scrappy's heart. Already humiliated and devastated, now the whole courtroom, no, the whole world, heard his wife say she used him for airtime, for clout, for survival. Scrappy erupted in the courtroom, pointing at Bambi, veins bulging. "That's what you really think of me? After everything I did for you?" His voice trembled with fury, hurt, betrayal. The judge slammed his gavel harder, shouting for deputies to maintain order as the entire room spiraled into emotional chaos. Mama D stood up like she was in church, yelling, "I told y'all, told y'all she was evil." And Stevie J wasn't done. He came armed not just with audio, but with a full timeline, receipts printed in color, a carefully prepared presentation that felt less like a courtroom exhibit and more like an exposé. In another clip, Bambi said, "If I had to fake it with Scrappy to get my brand up, so what? I'm a survivor." Stevie paused the recording, dramatically glancing at the judge. "Your Honor, this was recorded just 2 weeks before she demanded alimony." The room fell deathly silent. This was no longer about divorce or money. It was a public demolition of Bambi's entire image, and the audience was eating it up. Twitter exploded. TikTok lit up with theories. Hashtags like #Free Scrappy, Bambi exposed, and Stevie got the tapes started trending. Viral clips of court audio circulated like wildfire. But beneath the internet frenzy lay an even uglier truth. Rumors swirled that Bambi had been playing both sides, sweet-talking Scrappy while sneaking off with Stevie J in secret. Some said they had been reconnecting behind the scenes since 2022. One anonymous DM leaked by an ex-cast member claimed she only married Scrappy to boost her skincare line. Brand alignment, she called it. This wasn't just scandalous, it was surgical. Every move, every play calculated. Even Safari jumped in on social media. Damn, I thought my drama was wild. Y'all different. The internet crowned Stevie. Jay the unofficial prosecutor. Mama D became the courtroom bishop. And Bambi? She was branded the queen of manipulation. But Stevie wasn't finished. He looked Bambi dead in the eye and then turned to Scrappy. "You think I'm the villain?" He smirked. "Nah, baby girl, you wrote the whole plot." And then came the nuclear bomb. Stevie pulled up another recording. This time, a late-night call between Bambi and someone saved in her phone as Z. Scrappy emotional. He'll fold. As long as Mama D don't get involved, we good. But Mama D was already involved. Sitting right there, listening to every word. Her face froze. Her hands shook. But she didn't stay silent for long. Mama D whipped out her phone and posted a selfie with a caption that instantly set the internet ablaze. "Been quiet too long. Time to drag some demons into the light. Receipts ready." Within minutes, her DMs overflowed. Former assistants, hairstylists, even past cast members came forward with voice notes, screenshots, and stories. The leaks multiplied by the second. Then TMZ got involved. Of course, with a fake leaked photo showing Stevie J and Bambi inside a hotel elevator. The timestamp? 2 days before her jail booking. The questions were getting darker. Was Stevie helping Bambi? Or was he setting her up? Because let's be real. This man didn't just walk into court with a few audio clips. He came with files, timelines, and color-coded evidence. He came too prepared, and it didn't stop there. Stevie J had filed a defamation lawsuit against Bambi. She, in turn, tried to pin her fraud schemes on him, claiming Stevie introduced her to a man known only as Crypto Dave, a man who allegedly helped her move stolen funds through shell companies. But then the real twist, Crypto Dave flipped. He became a whistleblower. He testified to the IRS, the FBI, and, according to leaked documents, even VH1's internal HR team. Shockingly, the VH1 producers allegedly knew about the fraud. Instead of stopping it, they encouraged the drama for better ratings. One leaked email read, "Keep the drama going. It's our biggest season yet." And while the courtroom spiraled into this wildfire of accusations, Lil Scrappy was breaking down. He arrived at court the next day wearing a hoodie, sunglasses, and no wedding ring. He spoke to no one. He didn't even sit near his mother. That morning, Bambi's lawyer requested an emergency hearing to suppress the leaked jail calls, calling them emotionally exploitative and tampered evidence. But the judge was unflinching. "Your client chose her words. The truth isn't always pretty." Lil Scrappy stood up. His voice trembled. "You ruined everything. My name, my family, my peace. I let you in, and you made me a meme." His words hung in the air like a funeral. Song. Bambi stayed quiet. She wiped a tear from her cheek. Whether it was real or fake, no one could tell. Stevie leaned back, arms folded, his smirk never leaving his face. And then came the next twist. One final voicemail played. Bambi's voice whispered, "Once this divorce goes through, I'll be free. Scrappy still got money coming in. I just gotta hold out till next season drops. Then poof, I'm gone." The judge froze. "Who is V?" he asked. Nobody answered. The courtroom sat frozen, like the air itself refused to move after hearing that last recording. The judge leaned back, eyes narrowed. The name V hung heavy in the silence. Speculations flew across the internet instantly. Was V a VH1 executive? A secret investor? A co-conspirator? Or another cast member? The possibilities sent the online world into a frenzy of conspiracy threads, TikToks, and late-night live streams dissecting every word Bambi had uttered. But inside that courtroom, things were escalating far beyond mere scandal. What had started as divorce drama had now spiraled into allegations of racketeering, fraud, and federal crimes. Scrappy's legal team moved fast, filing a press release that afternoon. Our client has been a victim of emotional, financial, and public abuse. We will pursue full custody, asset protection, and emotional damages. It was a public declaration of war. Bambi's team quickly fired back. Ms. Bambi has endured years of gaslighting, emotional neglect, and humiliation. Any recordings leaked without consent are under legal review. But the fans weren't buying any of it. One viral tweet summed it up perfectly. She went from ride or die to Bonnie with no Clyde. Whole time, Stevie was the plug. By now, the courtroom footage had gone completely viral. Over 10 million views across TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Reddit. Clips of Scrappy's breakdown, Mama D's fiery outbursts, and Stevie J's cold smirks were being reposted everywhere. Even Charlemagne the God did a full segment on The Breakfast Club, joking, "Stevie playing chess while Scrappy out here playing Uno without the draw fours. Savage." But behind the scenes, something far more serious was brewing. Scrappy's lawyers weren't done. They filed for subpoenas, requesting full access to Bambi's financials over the past 2 years. If she had been funneling money into her skincare and real estate ventures using Scrappy's income, that wasn't just betrayal, it was criminal. And the judge granted it. Suddenly, the court was swimming in financial records, business ledgers, bank statements, offshore accounts, and even OnlyFans income that had allegedly been underreported for tax purposes. According to one viral Reddit post, Bambi had been manipulating income reports while pulling in side deals behind Scrappy's back. And while the courtroom prepared for the next round of evidence, the internet kept digging. Old clips from Love and hip-hop were being dissected like crime scene footage. Every side-eye, every suspicious quote, every scene where Bambi downplayed loyalty, now it all looked like foreshadowing. What was once considered reality TV drama had become a televised autopsy of a toxic marriage fueled by deception. The next morning, the storm truly arrived. When Scrappy pulled up to court, he was alone again. No entourage, no sunglasses, just cold, hollow eyes that hadn't slept. Paparazzi shouted, but he didn't flinch. Inside, the energy had shifted entirely. Now seated behind the prosecution were 3 new faces, 2 men in dark suits and a woman carrying a thick federal binder. The judge opened with a single statement that sent shivers down the room's spine. "We are proceeding today with newly submitted evidence from federal investigators in conjunction with state court materials." Translation: the feds were officially involved now, and what they dropped next shook the courtroom to its core. Bank statements weren't just showing Bambi's accounts. They exposed a joint business account titled Glow Mommy Inc., a fake wellness brand operated jointly between Bambi and Scrappy, but receiving consistent deposits from none other than Stevie J. Over $80,000 in 6 months, funneled directly into this shell corporation. The courtroom gasped audibly when the chart appeared on screen, showing a tangled web of transactions connecting Bambi, Stevie, and multiple offshore shell companies. It looked like a financial crime board straight out of a Netflix documentary. Mama D couldn't hold back. She stood up mid-hearing, clapping sarcastically. "Well, damn! Y'all was running scams and reality shows at the same damn time." The judge slammed the gavel furiously. "Order in the court!" But it was too late. The damage was already done. The energy had completely shifted. This was no longer a custody or divorce case. This was full-blown conspiracy, with fraud, racketeering, and federal charges looming overhead. And just when everyone thought it couldn't get more shocking, it did. A video surfaced, obtained from a fake informant, showing Bambi and Stevie J inside a dimly lit studio counting stacks of cash, laughing. VH1 paid for the show, Scrappy paid for the lifestyle. I just finessed the math, Bambi giggled on camera. The room fell into dead silence. Scrappy sat frozen, his hands gripping the table so tight his knuckles whitened. He leaned forward, whispering something only he could hear. His eyes, however, stayed locked on Stevie J, full of fire, betrayal, and disbelief. Stevie didn't blink. In fact, he smirked. Bambi buried her face in her hands. Her lawyer whispered something into her ear, and she slowly nodded. Then, in a move that made jaws drop, her lawyer stood up and addressed the judge. "Your Honor, my client would like to change her plea." The judge paused. "To what?" "No contest, Your Honor, in exchange for leniency and full cooperation with federal investigators." Scrappy's mouth fell open. His entire world collapsed before his eyes. Not only had Bambi betrayed him for years, but now she was turning on everyone. Stevie, Crypto Dave, even the VH1 executives who allegedly helped cover up the fraud for ratings. The courtroom was in complete disbelief. That very afternoon, federal investigators received digital folders containing screenshots, email threads, financial transactions, and even behind-the-scenes text messages with producers and attorneys. One email subject read chillingly, "If this gets out, we're all effed." It was already too late. Mama D, fresh out of the hearing, went live on Instagram immediately. Her voice cracked as she screamed into the phone, "I told y'all! This heifer was no good from the jump! And Stevie, don't make me drop the voicemails. I got clips for days." Her live stream hit 75,000 viewers in minutes. TikTok edits blew up. Fan conspiracy pages broke down every frame of Bambi's breakdown in the courtroom. Some fans started editing side-by-side scenes of Bambi's previous interviews where she'd preached loyalty, now exposed as carefully constructed lies. VH1 tried to do damage control, releasing a fake PR statement. "We are conducting an EETU internal review of past episodes and staff conduct. At this time, all cast members involved are suspended from future filming." Translation: the franchise was collapsing, and just when it seemed the avalanche had finally slowed, the final blow landed. A leaked federal warrant revealed that agents had begun seizing assets connected to the fraudulent business empire, Bambi's luxury Atlanta condo, a Range Rover titled under Stevie J's name, jewelry purchased using joint credit cards, and even a $120,000 crypto wallet based in Dubai flagged for money laundering. But that wasn't even the wildest part. According to one anonymous source, Bambi was also being investigated for witness tampering. Allegedly, she had offered a former friend $5,000 and a luxury wig to stay silent and avoid testifying. The friend took the money and then exposed her by posting screenshots of the entire exchange online. Now Bambi faced 3 serious federal charges: fraud, money laundering, and tampering with a federal witness. Stevie J, meanwhile, hadn't officially been charged, but was listed as a person of interest. And Scrappy? He wasted no time filing for emergency custody of their children, requesting that Bambi's parental rights be suspended pending the criminal outcome of her case. The internet was on fire. One viral TikTok video summarized it all perfectly. "This ain't love and hip-hop no more. This is love and federal time." Even celebrities couldn't stay silent. K. Michelle posted a cryptic Instagram story. "Tables turn, chairs flip, keep the cameras rolling." Ray J commented under a viral post, "Reality TV getting too real." Inside that courtroom, the judge's final words rang out like a funeral bell. "Ms. Bambi, do you understand the consequences of your plea and agreement to cooperate?" Her voice, now broken and barely audible, whispered, "Yes, Your Honor." And with that, the courtroom doors closed. But the storm outside was only just beginning. Stevie J was seen exiting the courthouse with a duffel bag slung over his shoulder, wearing the same smug expression he'd worn all trial long. Paparazzi flooded him with questions, but he refused to answer. Mama D, meanwhile, had turned her Instagram Live into an ongoing courtroom of public opinion, preaching like a gospel revival, swearing more receipts were still locked in her phone. Scrappy's team released one final press statement. "My client is focusing on healing his children and reclaiming his life from the lies that almost destroyed him. The internet crowned him the survivor of the year. Bambi, the queen of manipulation. And Stevie, the devil's puppet master." But before the chapter could close, one last headline broke on TMZ. Federal agents issue warrant for VH1 executive tied to Bambi's case. Is this the end of love and hip-hop? And so it stood. No more scripted drama. No more staged fights. Just raw, exposed betrayal displayed before the entire world. judged not by VH1 cameras, but by real courts, real charges, and real consequences.